Right, so I'm back with yet another episode of Top 5 Mods, a series where, despite the name, I showcase more than 5 mods. There isn't a whole lot of Fallout related news this week. The Nuka World's DLC release date is still supposed to be in August, so it should be anywhere between now and 2 weeks time. And finally, the PS4 users still have to go through life without mods. So for the time being, they still just have to stare. Anyways, let's get started. So I'm still not entirely sure what Preston is up to with the Sin Producer. Last week I nearly got surprised by a Tinker Tom half-naked hit squad, and I can't help but think it's related somehow. I am definitely gonna get to the bottom of this. Someday. But not today, since today we're looking at mods, so coming up at number 5, it's solar panels. So in Fallout 4, in order to get power you need generators, but as we all know, burning fuel is bad for the environment. I mean, nuclear bombs too, but we still have to think about global warming here. So this mod adds in solar panels that harvest the power of the sun for your settlements. You've got access to 2 models, one that you can place on a horizontal surface and one that you can place on a vertical surface. So I built myself a nice solar farm to provide me with all the power that I ever need. It's definitely working out a lot better than the bicycle farm I tried before. So now that I don't need my bicycle farm anymore, I've got a few extra settlers that I don't need anymore. In unrelated news, I opened up a small butcher shop that serves special meat. It's fresh and really high in protein. The slaughterhouse ranch combo thing I tried before ended up not really working out. I think I may have tried to reach a tad bit too high in just one go. So I opened up a small butcher shop in Sanctuary, which is definitely the prime location for the sale of the more exotic meat flavor. Yeah, this mod adds in racks and hooks to the building menu, and to these racks and hooks you can snap various types of meat, such as rat stack, deathclaw, mole rat steak, and raiders, if that's your taste. It allows you to create your own custom butcher shop to really spicing up your settlement. Yeah, I think this will mark a new beginning for my Wasteland entrepreneurship. But to maintain a steady supply of meat for my butcher shop, I'll need a big gun to hunt some game. So what better than the M2045 Magnum Revolver rifle? So this is a gigantic revolver rifle, supposedly designed 32 years before the Great War, and only really wieldable in combination with power armor. So to get your hands on one of these hand cannons, you have to go to Recon Bunker FIDA, kill the Minuteman hit squad out front that Preston sent after you, and walk over to the terminal only to notice that it's locked. So you have to do exactly 1 barrel roll and it'll miraculously open. Inside you'll find one of these magnums laying on top of a trunk. It's just perfect for taking out the behemoth that's right outside. The behemoth didn't like the idea as much as I did, so he tried to squish me. Fortunately, I'm rather resilient. But to actually get your hands on one, you have to follow the Last Patrol quest line, which will give you access to the bunker. Additionally, one can be found at the Pritwin, and they're also sold by traders. So this thing is pretty massive. It fires the 3-way by default, but it can be upgraded to fire the 50 cal as well. You can also attach a suppressor or the Hubble space telescope to this thing. It looks good and the reloading animation fits in, so overall it's a fine weapon. It'll definitely make you look more dangerous. It also seems to be pretty good at taking out two-headed game. The more heads, the more meat. Although these two-headed deer are pretty ferocious. But this thing does kinda make it look like you're overcompensating, which for me is definitely not the case, so instead I'll go with the Glock P80. So to get your hands on this thing you have to go to Good Neighbor, follow the first alley on the right, and talk to the creepy ghoul behind the door. This will start the Big Dig quest line, where you dig big. So once you've dug around for a bit, you'll reach this room with the power armor. At the back left you can find a P80 right next to the skeletons. Now apparently this Maryland King doesn't quite appreciate you taking his pistol, so you need to dispose of it. Then he sort of warps into the floor, which is quite interesting. But if that's way too much effort for you, you can also find it on some traders as well as on people in the Wasteland. So this pistol is sleek and cool, it's also pretty customizable. By default it fires the 10mm round, but you can also rechamber it to fire 38 or 45 ACP. You can make it fully automatic, attach a suppressor and a laser, but most importantly, you can attach a really big magazine. The textures look very good and the reloading animation fits, so if you're looking around for a cool new black toy after you've seen a Big Dig, then this is the gun for you. It isn't quite as powerful as the big revolver, but it was definitely still good enough to take out the two-headed deer. But the horns on these rack stack are kinda pointy, I've noticed. So if I'm going to continue with this butcher shop thing, I'm gonna need some proper armor. So I'll go with the B-35C Heavy Brotherhood of Steel armor. To get your hands on this, you'll have to go to Vault 111. It's in a crate right next to the entrance. Well, that was surprisingly easy. No big digs, no behemoths, no falling horses. I guess not everything in life has to be hard, like running a successful butcher shop. You won't believe the amount of effort I had to go through to cut through all that meat. Anyways, this armor is supposedly built by the Brotherhood of Steel as a less bulky, stealthier alternative to power armor. It's got a nice light blue tint, a built-in gas mask, a headlamp, the Brotherhood of Steel insignia on the chest plate, a small generator on the back, some hoses, and a butt plate. It's also got a built-in Pip-Boy, but you can opt for a version that does not show the Pip-Boy if you prefer that. It's definitely some sleek looking armor. As you might be aware at this point, I've complained numerous times about reloading animations that don't completely fit in. Magazines that warp through weapons, charging handles that are left untouched. Well, somebody finally listened to me. So at number 1 this week we've got Grab the Damn Mag. Now this mod has your character grabbing the damn mag and inserting it properly into the firearm. So this mod replaces the vanilla SMG reloading animation with this animation, and since many of the weapon mods that are out currently use that SMG reloading animation, it means that this mod effectively fixes a lot of those weapon mods reloading animations. So for this opportunity I dove back into my foot locker and got some of my old weapons out. So first up, the Sturmgewehr 44. With the vanilla reloading animation, your fingers are stuck inside the magazine, you push the magazine through the side of the mag well, and you don't even touch the charging handle. With Grab the Damn Mag, you actually grab the damn mag and stick it in there, and it looks like you actually pull back on the charging handle. It's exactly the same for Melody's Chinese assault rifle. The vanilla animation has a lot of clipping issues and the modded version does not. The Scar LK now also has a convincing reloading animation. And finally, the M2216. The magazine clipping issue is fixed, although the charging handle still does not look completely right. It's just a tiny bit too low for the new animation. But it's not just these 4 weapons, it fixes the reloading animations on a lot more modded in weapons. The only downside is that it does sort of break the vanilla Thompson's reloading animation, but nobody uses that thing anyway, so it really does not matter. So overall, this is a pretty fantastic mod in my books. Anyways, that was it for the top 5, but as always, there is a bonus mod. So this week we've got Carbide. So now that we've prevented further pollution with all those solar panels, we've got a bit of leeway. So this mod adds in floating cars and bikes, which you can use to make your way around the wasteland. I mean, we've got to fight another nuclear winter with some more global warming. To get your very own Carbide, you'll first have to craft some Carbide grenades at a chemistry station, then simply throw these grenades on the floor and a Carbide will spawn. So there's a few different flavors you can choose from. You've got the Batfan 4, and I think the number 4 stands for the amount of fans this thing has got, but I'm not too sure. The Fusion Flea, which has wheels for some reason. The Hover Bike, which does seem to hover. The Mimo 2, which has a very comfortable pod. The Matcha Bike in 2 different styles, one with a green thing and one without. And finally, the Sedan, for when you just want to float around in style. Now, once you've determined which one is your favorite, you simply get in and float around. They're definitely easier to use in third person. In first person, you'll get rather disorientated. When occasionally you need to do some drive-by shooting, you can also craft an explosive minigun under the Carbide tab at a chemistry station. And if you have this thing equipped when you get in one of these vehicles, you can shoot while driving. Although if you move around too quickly while shooting, you'll end up shooting yourself. So be warned. So yeah, this might not be the most immersive mod out there, but if it becomes too much for you, you can always hit the eject switch. But this week we don't just have one bonus mod, we've got 2 bonus mods. Yes, you thought we would never see the day where we had 2 bonus mods. So since there's traffic in the Wasteland now, there's bound to be some road rage. Some people just can't drive, so in order to show your frustration, you want to be able to flip people off. And you can do just that with Drop the Bomb. So to flip someone off, you simply throw a grenade when you don't have your weapon out, and instead of blowing someone up, you'll raise your middle finger instead. And if you're really angry, you can throw that grenade after all. But this mod is not just limited to road rage. Don't like Preston telling you to go save another settlement, just flip them off. Don't like your noodles? Just say fuck you to that robot. Don't like the behemoth that's trying to beat you to death? Just stick up your middle finger. Don't like the Mario King that feels to be of any help? Just flip them off too. The possibilities are truly endless. So yeah, I kind of have a confession to make when it comes to my little butcher shop. I think some of you might have seen this coming already, but my special meat is not animal meat. It's synth meat. Yeah, they were all synths. I made this rather lucrative deal with the Institute to get some good old vat-grown meat. I think it'll be a real hit across the Wasteland. I have to see how that works out, but yeah, that was it for this week's mods. Yet again, some very solid mods in there. Will my butcher shop be successful? Will I unravel the mystery behind the return of the Tinker Toms? And will I crash my hover bike? Find out potentially next week, so until then. So yeah, this is that section where I tell you to go watch the video in the bottom left corner and I ramble on incoherently about random things. So setting up that bike farm right there, it was a lot of effort. for just like a 5-second joke. Now you think it's just placing down bicycles, but assigning all those settlers to those bicycles, I'm not sure what is wrong with the settlers, but you tell them to go on a bike. They might go on a bike, but you can only tell one at a time to go on an actual bike, and then you have to wait for the animation to finish, and then you can tell another one to go on a bike. Then some other ones that were on a bike before decide that they don't want to be on a bike anymore, and then just sort of get off the bike and stand right next to the bike. It was a pure mess. I think in total I might have spent a fucking hour trying to get settlers on bikes. All of that for just a 5-second joke, so I hope you better appreciate that joke right there. Anyways, that was all I had to complain about. So yeah, maybe for the next battle that I make, I might just let 500 settlers get absolutely murdered by Deathclaws, because I got a grudge against them now. But yeah, that was it, so until next time.